Ulvhild Håkansdotter was a medieval Scandinavian queen, twice queen consort of Sweden and once queen consort of Denmark, married to King Inge II of Sweden, King Niels of Denmark and King Sverker I of Sweden. She is mentioned as a femme fatale of high medieval Scandinavia. Life. Ulvhild was certainly from Norway. Legends mention her as daughter of Norwegian magnate Håkon Finsen, of the Toyota family. It is almost certain that her mother was not Queen Margaret Fredkulla, and the name of her mother has not been preserved to later centuries. Young Ulvhild was firstly married to King Inge II of Sweden, in about 1116–17. They appear not to have had children. In 1118, she is rumoured to have made Inge poison his brother and co-regent King Philip. Legends say King Inge died of an evil drink in Vreta Abbey, allegedly poisoned by Queen Ulvhild and her alleged lover, Sverker Colson. This created her reputation as a dangerous woman. After the death of King Inge, Ulvhild moved to Denmark. This was to claim asylum. She seems to have had relatives and allies in Denmark, whereas there were problems in Sweden. She is said to have married King Niels of Denmark after the death of his first queen, Margaret Fredkulla of Sweden, in 1130. After 4 years as Queen of Denmark, Ulvhild became a widow, after which she, Queen Dowager of both Sweden and Denmark, married King Sverker I of Sweden. She was to have separated from Niels and moved back to Sweden already in 1132. Some sources say that she had returned to Sweden and married Sverker, already in 1130. No objections was made against the third marriage or against the legitimacy of her children, which had been taken as proof that she was not married to Niels, but only his mistress, while if she was married to him, the church would not have allowed her marriage to Sverker in 1130, when Niels was still alive. In reality, she likely married Niels in 1130, when his first wife died, and married Sverker in 1134, when Niels had died, which would meet no objection from the church. King Sverker was said to be from a family without royal lineage. The marriage was to him a means of enhancing his legitimacy, Ulvhild having been Queen of Sweden already once. Were Ulvhild, against all researched probability, a daughter of Margaret Fredkulla, herself daughter of King Inge I of Sweden, the marriage would have served Sverker yet better. Sverker seems not to have attempted to marry any known descendant of Sweden's earlier kings. He instead married 2 widows of such kings. After a decade or so, Queen Ulvhild died, and Sverker married secondly Rikisa of Poland, widow of Magnus, King of Gothenland, Sverker's earlier rival and opponent. Children and family. Ulvhild was married 3 times, to King Inge II of Sweden in c. 1120, to King Niels of Denmark in 1130, and to King Sverker I of Sweden in 1134. She had at least 2 surviving sons and 2 surviving daughters, all born of her third marriage with Sverker. Princess Helena of Sweden, Queen consort of Denmark, in 1156 married to King Canute V of Denmark, Rikisa's son. Later nun in Vreta Abbey. Prince John Sverkerson of Sweden, mentioned as Jarl, but killed by peasants during last years of his father Sverker. King Charles VII of Sweden, who after his father's murder held Gothenland, was possibly called Jarl and certainly held as his father's heir and dynastical successor, but ultimately succeeded to the throne of Sweden after the dynasty's rival Erik IX as King Charles VII of Sweden. Princess Inge, Sverker's daughter of Sweden, abbess of Vreta Abbey. If a descendant of King Sverker I were father of Ingrid, then it is fully possible that he was also a son of Ulvhild. Succession.